Hey, welcome to Greenlight. So today I'm talking about a couple movies that came out on Blu-ray and DVD and what kind of features they have. So I have my microphone actually right over here. Basically, I'm at an extended stay today. So let's see if hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat when you're here. So I got a couple movies that came out. So the first movie that came out this week, let me just show you guys this. Alright, I'm also on iTunes podcast as well as YouTube. I'm on YouTube live all the time, so this also will be uploaded into iTunes video podcast as well. So the first thing we're talking about today is we're going to be talking about Welcome to Marwen. So as you can see here, yeah, this is the screen. Oop. Bring this over here. There we go. So as you can see there, that's the cover here. The cover here is basically a basic cover for Blu-ray, and then let's see here. Let's give you guys the back of it. So it's got a couple features. It's got a couple features here in the back end right here that you can see. And I gotta blow it up fairly big. Alright, so you guys could see it. So deleted scenes, Marwans Citizens, a visionary director. So of course deleted scenes are self-explanatory. Marwans Citizens, that's basically going to be talking about all the characters that were made into you see here like as a doll and stuff like that. This is a movie that me and my wife are going to see. I love this filmmaker though. He did movies like Flight and Forrest Gump, as well as wow, there's a huge wind going through right now. Forgive me guys, I don't know if the sound is bad or not. Let me know if it is or not and I'll fix it. So back to what I was saying. So Marwans Citizens, so that's going to be more of like a talk about the characters in the film that turned into that he made dolls out of. Let's see, visionary director. They're going to be talking about Robert Rodriguez. I'm over here trying to say Martin Scorsese. I got his movie on my mind right now with The Irishman coming out. Let's see, a visionary director, Robert Zemeckis. So he did movies like Forrest Gump, Flight, Back to the Future, which is my favorite movie. I see as one movie, all three movies. So, and then there's Building Marwen. Oh, okay. So this is gonna be pretty cool. So Building Marwen is probably going to have like miniature art directors or something that created the little houses and cars and all that stuff of the Marwen world that we have of his toys. And then Living Dolls. So Living Dolls, I'm not sure what that's going to be. That could be either a little documentary about of this kind of world. Of like collecting these dolls and creating, scenes and sets and stuff like that in your house. People do this with Legos nowadays a lot too, and they've been doing it forever. So that's pretty cool. So they probably dive into something like that. If not, it'd just be more about the movie and their dolls and the people who created. More extensive probably on the whole Building Marwen part of it. Okay, so, oops, man, I hope you guys didn't miss the microphone. And then, let's see here. Nice trees. Thanks, man. That's Preston over here, giving him a shout out. He's gonna make cooking. He does cooking tips, and he's gonna be dropping more very soon. Basically, I'm thinking they're gonna have like deleted scenes, so we'll see what it is that they say. I mean, what they have and everything like that. Check in the links below. I have Streaming Plus for this, and it's like the bonuses, so it could be, you know, outtakes or extra scenes or stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking, maybe even commentary. But I haven't found anything as to what kind of features are out there for this. So I'm sorry about that. I just don't have it. I looked it up. I use Bluray.com for this to find out. Also use Google, comingsoon.net, DVDreview.com. I could link them below if you want me to. I will link them below, or I'll give it to you through the comments. Just let me know. Alright, and then moving on, let's see. The other film that doesn't have features is, but I believe it's gotta have something probably. It's A Dog's Way Home, but it didn't do very well. It didn't do very well in the box office. So I believe that a lot of people just don't really, you know, aren't interested in finding out more about this film, you know, and how they made it or anything like that. Me and my wife actually tried to watch this last night, and we couldn't believe what we were watching. It was nothing like A Dog's Purpose. It was just a little cheesy, and they kind of just threw a lot of things, like certain parts of the scenes, and it wasn't, you know, dealt with in a delicate manner. They just like went right into it. They didn't really kidnap the dog, but it was the dog catchers basically just took him away. It was just a whole thing. It was weird. My wife just didn't like that. It was just too strong. It wasn't even too strong. It just, the way it was held, we were just laughing. Like, don't understand why they dealt with it in that manner. But moving on, there is another film, and it does have special features. Bases of Sex. So The Bases of Sex is not a film that me and my wife seen yet. It's a focus feature film, so I expect it to be very good. I haven't seen it myself. I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but I'm sure it's about, women's rights. So this is going to be very interesting, and it's actually going to have a lot of great special features. So let's check this out. Let's go right into this here so you guys can see. All right, here we go. Let's make it really big. Really big. Alright, so cool. They have a making of. Probably just have one making of. I hope they have a little more. Okay, cool. A Supreme Team making on the basis of sex. And then there's Legacy. Let's make it bigger. Alright, here we go. Legacy of Justice. Martin and Ruth. A Loving Partnership. Ooh, this is going to be nice. So, the first one, making on the basis of sex, is actually going to be very basic in that sense. It could be a 30 to 40 minute kind of documentary type of thing whenever they do making or making of. in front of it, it usually means that. But since it has a title in front of it, a Supreme Team, it could run closer to an hour. So let's hope for that. And then Legacy of Justice, that could be its own kind of documentary within there. So Legacy of Justice could be talking about the history of where this movie takes place, and what topic this film was able to bring up within nowadays, or when the true story actually happened. Okay, and the next thing is Martin and Ruth, A Loving Partnership. Let me see here, because I don't know too much about this film myself, so I'm guessing that Martin and Ruth. So Martin and Ruth could be the characters. Just looking here in the back there to see, the credits and stuff like that. So I believe that Martin and Ruth are the husband and wife in this film, and they band together. Yeah, this is an interesting film. I'm actually gonna have to talk to my wife about this one. Alright, so please tell me down below if you've actually seen this movie, and do you like it yourself. I appreciate you guys taking this time with me here, and actually enjoying these episodes that I do of this. There's another episode that I did the other day about Blender, so I really appreciate that you guys were able to check that out, and actually sit through there for 40 minutes and see what I have to talk about with that program. I'm like truly in love with that program. There's something interesting being able to kind of create your whole world in one sitting, in a way, if that makes sense. It's not really one sitting, but many sittings. But you're sitting there and you have one program open, and you could do a bunch of things on that one program. You might need to get a lot more space, but we'll get into that later on. So please let me know down below if you guys are interested more in those wouldn't say tutorials, but kind of walkthrough with Blender. I'm gonna have a part 2 coming out fairly soon, just to give a little bit more of what I know. I'm still fairly new into it, like I said before, so just let me know how far into filmmaking you're in, or how far into CG or Blender or anything down below in the comments. And thank you guys for joining us this week on Greenlight for a Blu-ray and DVD release. So thank you, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and see you next week. Later.